This is the foundry we've been heading for, the Ballantyne and Bowness Iron Company. And it's been here since 1820 and employs over 100 people.
This is it.
Here they cast everything from pillar boxes to lamp standards to beautiful iron railings and, you know, for places as far away as London and maybe all over the world, you know. But, you know, looking around at the quality of the workmanship and the ornamental stuff, there can't be many places as good as what this place is, believe me.
If you come through this way, lads.
Yeah.
Through you come. Through you come.
Oh, there's some lovely tattle in here, isn't there?
Yes, it's really, really nice. This is one of our pattern stores here, Fred.
Yeah.
As you can see, we can match up just about any head with any bar, and these days that's sort of big business for us. The restoration work in parks and what have you. I don't think we've ever counted them, but I think we've got over 100,000 patterns within the foundry, so it's a lot. It's a bloody lot,
Yeah.
But many of these patterns will date back to, you know, when the foundries first started.
Yeah.
And you'll still have them patterns somewhere.
Absolutely. We'll never, ever throw any patterns out. No, never do. Never do.
A lot of people don't realise that every one of these had to be made out of wood, didn't it, before it was made out of aluminium or cast iron.
Absolutely.
You know, there's some skill there, isn't there?
In you go, boys. In you go.
Oh, this is the pattern shop, isn't
This is the pattern shop, lads, aye.
Yeah.
Life starts here.
Yeah.
We're one of the last general jobbing foundries that's left these days, and but we're saying all sorts of things like postcards and drawings, and they go into they come into the pattern shop, and the lads like Alan here and William and Brian and the boys, they sort of turn it into reality if you want, you know. And then from here it sort of goes down to the shop to be cast. It's nice to see sort of cast iron coming back, sort of fighting back against all the plastics and the
very
the
durable
polish. That's
stuff,
nice.
isn't it? They don't rot away like steel.
No, indeed, indeed. Right, I'll mind your feet as you come down here.
Yeah.
So this, Fred, this is the next stage from the pattern shop here. Once the pattern's made, they come down here into the moulding shop.
Yeah.
I'm sure you recognise this is a bollard, a street bollard, street furniture. That's another big thing that we do. And this is, Ricky here is closing the box
the cores, aren't they?
That's right. And you can see the dark core there, so the metal sort of goes round about it.
Yeah.
The can of soap production, Fred, we've got to let them go on. Just blowing all the extra dust out so there's no any residue there. But, aye, so we do the street furniture, we do big lamp posts here. Well, this is our heavy end, so-called, because the larger, heavier castings are made in here. And you can see the size of the boxes, they're big. But when we move on to the next stage, you'll see a lot of the smaller castings, smaller things, you know. That's okay, mate, yeah. So when that's that, Fred, I think we should move on to the next mould.
Yeah,
So if you hear that? You didn't want to fight with this boy, eh? I tell you.
No, you're bigger than me.
So this is the main moulding shop we're going through to now. This is the main moulding shop.
Jacket seems to have been set on fire a few times.
There's 3 ton of metal in the furnace. It all arrives at once, and each different shop gets a ton. And they sort of have different turns when the metal is, just to make sure, you know, they all get an equal chance of going home a wee bit early. That's about the size of it. So that's it coming now. This will be ductile iron or spheroidal graphite, but I can't say that with my teeth. What are you laughing at? What's wrong with my teeth? The metal goes into the ladle, and that's the magnesium that's making it as bright as you see it there, lads. And that'll bring all the impurities up to the top. You can't have that going into the casting, because the impurities would be in the casting. That's I'm just popping the ladle up there. There we go. So getting the wheel on for pouring and tilting it comes into the shop here. And he's got his wee stirrer there. Come forward. Getting that. So this is the molten metal coming through into the moulding shop now. It's a bit like a pint of Guinness there, Fred, whereby all the impurities come up to the top, as you see, the furnaceman has a thing like Neptune's fork, and he takes all the slag off the top, so that we're left with the pure metal there. That's the green sand moulding plant there. It's still done in the traditional way with the hand ladles, as you see. You've got to be pretty strong to carry one of them about there. I think one of the lads was saying there's 56 pounds in it there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not as though you're just doing one, is it?
Yes,
You've got all them holes to fill up.
Yeah, you've got to be a real man to do that. You think you'd be up for it these days?
Well,
you think?
up until my present state of health, I'd have been all right with
you'd
that.
Be fine, I tell you, you're more of a man than me, mate. I wouldn't be able for that. Oh, Brian, you getting older, or is that getting heavier? It's getting heavier. In the end, he's going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He'll be a big, strong lad. You wouldn't let him give you a slap.
He's putting them on as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Aye. And see the height.
And then he has to take them
Can
off.
you see the height he's got to lift them?
Yeah.
It's a man's job. Yeah. The pattern will be in the box there. The box is in two parts. The pattern's placed in there, pulled out. You put the core in, close the box up, clamp it down, and then the metal is poured through the blowholes there. But it is really, it's just really to make sure you get a continuous flow of good quality metal.
What's the idea of like the 3 pouring holes?
Well, it's just to make sure that you get an equal flow through the moulding box, Fred. That's about the size of it. But it's certainly an age-old process, and we've been here for a long, long time.
Oh, this like area is very famous for foundry,
It really is. Central Scotland.
Yeah, we're back to 1803, you know,
yes,
Cannon
indeed.
Ironworks.
That's right. We've been here since about 1820. The company was started there. I think it was established in about 1856, and it has been in the Ballantyne family now. And and Mr. Ballantyne is still, the son and heir. And good news for us, he has a young son, so hopefully he'll come along and join us. He's at university at the minute. But the other good thing about Mr. Ballantyne and that is when he was coming into the shop at first, his father made him come here and do this. He made him do the moulding, and he worked in the pattern shop, and he worked in the fitting shop. So it's so you'd have a real insight into the job itself. Sadly, we're getting less and less, and we're one of the last few standing now. Just recently, 2 of the largest foundries in Scotland just closed down there, and you've got to feel for the men and the skills that are sort of left on the street now, Fred. But we soldier on.
How long does it take one of your molders to learn that traditionally till he can be left on his own?
It's really a 5-year apprenticeship. There are a lot of father and son combinations in here, so they'll learn the skills from their dad. Every moulder's responsible for his own ladle. At the end of the day, he'll need to chop that out back to the metal and then reline it, get it dried off. We've got little individual dryers, and then it's ready for the next day again.
In 1950, there were more than 200 foundries like this in central Scotland. Now this is one of the only ones left.